Hello, YouTubers! Welcome back to another episode of BoardgamingXP, the big and awesome show of me talking about a lot of stuff that I really like and normally normal people don't. But since I'm not that normal, I don't care. So, yeah. Oh, and let's just make a note to the awesomeness of my shirt. Yeah, the geek is everywhere, including my wardrobe. So yeah, that's how geek I am. This one was a gift from my brother. Kudos to him. So this episode we're going to talk a lot about games, and I'm going to present 5 suggestions of games that are really nicely themed with backstabbing. Oh, do we love backstabbing in my gaming group? Oh yeah. We have a lot of games, and the majority of them are normally very, very competitive. Yes, we're all good friends, but we just seem to love to kill each other, to beat each other down, to just simply see the other guys suffering in agony when they're losing. We love that, and that somehow is how we treat our friends. So this list is not a top 5 list. Keep in mind that at all times. These are just 5 suggestions of games that I think are really good if you want to have a bit of that flavor of backstabbing someone, because that's something we cannot do in real life. So games do provide us with the opportunity of playing things out in a way that we normally cannot in real life. Things like, slaying a dragon, casting a fireball, chopping someone's head off, or just befriending someone till they're completely confident about your friendship and then slowly backstab them to death. We love that, don't we? So moving on to the list, the number 1 game on this list is, of course, the mother of all backstabbing games, and I think its slogan pretty much reflects that. Breaking friendship since 19 whatnot. And that game is Diplomacy. Of course, diplomacy has to be here. The best suggestion for this number 1 suggestion that I have to make is that you don't play this game. Please do not play this game. If you do play this game, try not to play with people that you actually know. And especially, try not to play this game with your friends, because that will pretty much be a hazard to your friendship, and it will most likely end in tears. So what is Diplomacy? Diplomacy is an epic game of world domination, where you're just playing out a nation that is trying to do what nations love to do, which is to conquer other nations' territories, and make some very frail alliances with other nations to work on that. So you're going to have to try and make alliances and befriend other nations to help you conquer and dominate and may go to war with other nations. Eventually, it will come a point where you want to, start to feel a bit greedy about your friends' territories. And then all of a sudden you realize that there's a good opportunity to take their territories if you go and make some alliances with your current enemies, and then all of a sudden your enemies are your best friends, and then your friends, well, they're your target. And then you can see what this would go, and especially if we're talking about a game that takes more than a couple of hours, much more than a couple of hours to go through. So the investment that you make on this game really tends to become intense when it comes that point that you've just been completely wiped out off the board by your friends. So yes, that's how backstabbing aggressive Diplomacy is. You invest so much in it, and then it just slams you in the face from the back. Not much more I can say. I'm not even going to try to explain the game. Go search it. I just don't recommend that you actually play it, but I need to mention this one as the number 1 game on this list, Diplomacy. The number 2 suggestion on this list is also on the epic side of things, but a much more viable and one that I actually love a lot. And I do, in fact, recommend that you play this one, that you buy this one and you play this one. And that game is Rex. So Rex is not actually an original game. The original game that it's based upon is Dune, which is one of the oldest board gamings that is still awesome today in existence. It's still on the tops of famous websites, and it still manages to be a really intense experience for gamers and those that love the theme, the sci-fi theme. And it's so the mechanics there, it's so intensely nicely built. The design of it is so nice. So this one is definitely one of those games that's almost like a cult game, that you have to sort of like pay homage to it because it's so well done and it has withstand the test of time. And I've talked about how hard that is today. So if you like Dune, you're gonna love Rex. Rex is based on Dune, and it uses the world, the universe of Twilight Imperium, which is a game that I already talked about that is also pretty damn epic. The game depicts the moment where the empire of the Lazaks is crumbling down, and it's being completely, there's a coup in action from the Federation, whatnot. I can't recall the names, and they're just taking over the capital, I think, and there's these other races and other factions that each player will be one of them that are sort of like trying to make the most out of this interesting turn of events and try to be get themselves a position in power. So each player will have a different objective to win the game. Each faction has its own hidden objective. And the game normally plays out, there's a beautiful board, area control, beautiful components, beautiful tokens. There's the army that is bombing, and you kind of need to run away from them because they're bombing the cities, and you need to not be there so when they bomb. But you need to control the area, so you need to move around and take areas from other players and stuff. That's not actually a novelty, but the thing that's interesting about this is you can form alliances with other factions, with other players. And normally the games will tend to split into two big teams of players that are trying to reach a victory, a shared victory among those teams. But the interesting part of this game is that within those teams, within those alliances that tend to come up naturally, there's sometimes, a lot of times, some players will try to get the victory just for their own. So they will try to score their win condition before the game ends and before their team wins. So they're tagging along with a certain team, and they're going like, yeah, we're all working together against those damn dudes, and we're gonna not let them win. And then all of a sudden I'm just gonna shoot you in the back because I want the victory all for myself. That's how awesome the game is. Do not play with your friends. Try not to play with your friends. You're gonna play with your friends. So be nice when you backstab them. Just backstab them and say, oh, sorry, I'm really sorry, but I'm enjoying this. Up on the list again, as a nice party game, and I do like party games, and I think party games have a place in this universe. And that game is The Resistance. The Resistance is a really intense, cutthroatish party game where you're gonna have to lie with all the teeth in your mouth. You're gonna try to convince your friends that you're on their team. You are part of the resistance. You are the leader of the resistance, if not. The guy that's going up to the front and is gonna help it all and blow it up. And sabotage every single mission possible because you're an actual government spy infiltrated in the resistance. This game is sort of like Werewolf, but without without a game master. So every player will be an agent either of the resistance or of the spies. In the beginning of the game, all players will close their eyes, and the spies will open up and get to know who each other spy is, and then close their eyes, and then everybody opens their eyes. And throughout the game, you have to make teams of players to score, to go through certain missions. If the team has only just resistance members, they will successfully approve and succeed the mission. But if there is a spy in the midst of them, he can choose to fail the mission or approve the mission depending on his strategy. And that's the interesting part, because the players will be constantly, the spies will be constantly trying to convince everybody that they're, not spies. And, pick me for this team because I'm going to succeed this team. I'm going to make it. And then the mission fails and you're like, it was that guy. It was not me. I am not an actual spy. No. That guy is an ugly, lying spy. He's trying to ruin. Don't pick him. Pick me. Pick me again. It will succeed this time, I'm sure. So you can get the fun. It's simple. You can play a lot of games on a row. It's just, and we normally do. And, it's cheap, portable, great game. Plays big groups, great game. Not much I can say about it. Just pure awesomeness. Really recommend this one for a lot of fun times with a big group. So that's The Resistance. And you probably, if you're a huge geek like I am, you're probably waiting for this one. And that is the beautiful number 4 on our list, Throat Caverns. The name says it all. The name basically says it all. Throat Caverns is a game where you're going into a cavern to fight monsters. Okay, nothing really new about that. But the thing is, you're all these beautiful, awesome warriors, with powerful spells and stuff, and, stuff. But you are somewhat quite greedy, very much greedy. In fact, you are so greedy that you really want to claim all of those juicy rewards for yourself when the monster falls down. So the game plays through a series of monsters, and each monster rewards players when they die. When they die. Not throughout the entire time that you're dealing damage to him, just when they die. So what's your goal? Basically is to, let's band together against this huge monster and just beat him down to the point where he's almost dead, and then I will give him the final blow and claim the victory for myself. And whoever does that the most is the winner of the game. So you can see how this has everything to go wrong. And everybody will be completely trying to screw over every single other player at that moment. So the cards, it's a card game. So and the cards will have really humorous titles and really humorous effects. Cards like, I think he called you stupid. So, and that will make the monster go really berserk by the fact that he was insulted by that character, and he will direct all of the damage to that character because monsters don't like to be called stupid. Well, everybody knows that. So, and cards like, poke with a stick and things like that. When players expect you to deal a lot of damage, you just poke him with a stick and deal 0 damage to him, thus making the other players in a position where they need to deal that damage for you, and then you can deal the final blow. So, beautiful card game, a fast card game. Doesn't play that much players as you would expect, but it does play some. And it's very, very cutthroatish. Oh yes indeed, it's that theme. It's all based on the theme that you're going to screw over other players, try to make the monsters go over them, run them down, beat them down to the ground, and then just, kill the monster and get the victory. So, yeah, cutthroat. Although you do need to work a bit together, just a bit. Just enough to make sure that the monster actually dies and doesn't kill everybody. Other than that, you just need to make sure that you screw everybody over the most. And that's the game. And the final game on this list is somewhat of a cheat that I'm going to make, because I'm going to put a bundle of 3. And that is Shadows over Camelot, Battlestar Galactica, and Dead of Winter. Why am I bundling all of these in one group? Well, because all of them share the thing that they all have a cooperative mechanic. They're all cooperative games. But with a traitor mechanic. And that's what I'm trying to focus on, is that traitor aspect. Because there's nothing more awesome than to play a game where we're all supposed to be this one big team, trying to, work together either to survive the Cylons or survive the zombies or to, try to save Camelot. But in the midst of us, there's a traitor, or more than one actually. And that guy is putting his effort to completely sabotage all of our hard work as a cooperative team. That is awesome. I love being the traitor in these games. It's just pure fun. Sometimes it's really hard because, when you're playing with gamers, they will be ruthless. They will be like on top of you on any single micro decision you make, and they will be like, why the hell are you doing that? You should be doing this. We need this to be done now. Why are you going there? That's not useful. That will even hurt us. Why the hell you're a traitor? And that, it's sometimes really hard to be the traitor. But if you're good at some, role playing and acting out a certain, a guy that is somewhat cooperative and helpful to other people and trying to, get that victory for everybody. If you manage to fake that and to, make a fool out of everybody, you're going to enjoy being the traitor. Other than that, you're going to have a really hard time because players will basically just figure out that you're the traitor and instantly will put you aside, throw you out of the airlock, or vote against you or something. They will just screw you over. So that's not fun. If you're not comfortable in the skin of having to lie to your friends, you're gonna hate being the traitor. But basically, you're probably gonna hate all of the games on these lists. So why the hell are you watching this, huh? So thank you again for watching. This was somewhat of a brief episode that I kind of skimmed through all of these games really fast. But, I really don't want to go into depth of the games. I'm just focusing on the aspect of the backstabbing and that competitive level with that surprise element and somewhat of a deduction bluffing mechanics that you have in these games that I think is really fun. And I think allows players to, somewhat steam out, vent out some of the pressure that they might feel in their lives for, having to be normal and not being able to do some things that in games are supposed to be done and actually very fun. So, and I think that's really healthy for people. So please, play games, play a lot of games, a lot of different types of games, and, play them with your family and enjoy. And don't be a dick. I'm quoting one of my favorite celebrities on this. Don't be a dick, please. BoardgamingXP signing off. Goodbye.